anatomy of dreams. That means we should be able to look at structural elements. So we'll take a look at dreams. And going to get to a very interesting issue. So let's approach it cautiously, get to it. First, a dream. Who's got one?
Thank goodness. Huh? Thank goodness. You got one?
All right.
Got it this afternoon.
This afternoon. Oh, good. Okay, let's do it. What are we going to do? You must never analyze a dream unless you can write it out and see all the parts and the language of the dreamer. Go ahead.
I'm in a building in Rome.
In Rome.
It's about 3 stories high. Actually, I think it's more like I'm on the 3rd story. I'm not sure how high the building is. I'm in the 3rd story. And I'm telling my friend, his name is Bill too, he's an old friend, who's with me. I said, come on, let's go. And then I said, I'm going. And he's kind of resistant. And I know he can't go anywhere without me, excuse me. He can't go anywhere without me. I know that. So I tell him again. He says, come on, I'm going. Just then, the whole building rocks like an earthquake. And I said, oh shit, an earthquake in Rome. And I was thinking about how the buildings in the United States might be better. And these are these old buildings. And it sort of calms down, I mean the earthquake, it sort of calms down, and I look at it, and I'm thinking maybe it'll do it again. I want to get out of there. The bill isn't coming yet.
Okay.
But he's still resistant again. The bill isn't coming yet. States of mind, or do you want divisions?
Well, this is really one division, and these are the parts. Now, because there's one theme that goes through the whole thing, therefore, it's a whole. And these are sequences. Within each division, this is division, these are the sequences. We can list them. And therefore, just go over it once more. Always go over it. Always go over it. Go ahead.
You want me to read it again?
And as you do it, anything that comes to you on reflection, add to it.
I'm in a building in Rome, and the scene is very clear. The room is one of those old Roman buildings. And it says it's about 3 stories high. I know I'm on the 3rd floor. I can see out and see the street below. Very clear vision.
You can see the streets?
I can see down, yeah, so I know I'm up 3 stories.
Okay.
And my friend is there. I'm telling Bill, who's with me, I'm saying to him, come on, let's go. In the room, there appears to be somebody else. I'm not very well. He's doing something with someone on the other side of the room. And then I said, I'm going.
He's doing something with someone else.
Yeah, talking or
Talking.
yeah.
Okay.
He's standing. I know he's standing up. That's all. That's an image. It's good. I said, come on, let's go. And then I say, I'm going. Now, the state of mind's important.
Good.
Because when I say I'm going, it's like a threat. You know, but it's not real. I'm not going to leave without it. And he's kind of resistant. To clarify that, it's almost like not paying attention.
As if he's not paying attention.
Yes, yes. It's like it's not that he's resisting me, he's just doing what he's doing. Or something like that.
Okay, go ahead.
So I told him again, I said, come on. And then I said, I'm going. Same kind of threat, you know. And there's this note in here, and I know he can't go anywhere without me. In other words,
Good.
this all harkens back to the trip I took this guy 25 years ago to Europe. He can't drive himself, so I was the driver. He couldn't go anywhere without me. So I think that's the issue.
Is that the same person?
Same person.
Okay.
Same, almost exact situation. So that's what it said.
Okay. Go ahead.
He's dependent on me, but in another sense, I'm connected with him. And just then, the whole building rocks like an earthquake. It is an earthquake. It's moving. I'm beginning to look around at the building. And I said, oh shit, an earthquake in Rome. And I said that because of how the buildings, I saw the buildings there as not being subjected to earthquakes, so I thought they would probably fall. And I was thinking about how the buildings in the United States might be better, and I really didn't think about California, but I was devastating. These are old buildings. So I got this whole thinking about how the building's going to work and everything, and it sort of calms down. And I look at it. That means I'm waiting to see if it's really going to. This is just the first shock of a big one, or is it over for a while? And then I'm thinking maybe it'll do it again. And I want to get out of it. Hope I can get out into the street before maybe this is just a portion. And my friend Bill is coming in. He's still in the exact same state he was in an A, as if nothing has changed.
Good. Good. Now, you added to it certain states of mind. That was worthwhile. So we have a sequence, A to F. We have a goal. What's the goal in the dream? Always find the goal and the conflict within the goal, about the goal, to gain the goal. Right? What's the goal?
Well, it changes a little because in the first one it said, let's go. There's no reason to get out of there because of the earthquake. The second one, I mean, when I want to get out of there at the end, I think it's F or E. In that case, I want to get out of there because of the earthquake. I don't want to, if there's going to be another big shock, I don't want to be in that building. So the goal is more immediate in a way. And the other one is, let's go, and I don't know where we're going.
Where's the conflict in the dream? Where's the conflict? Where's the conflict in the dream?
Between me and him, as far as I can tell. I mean, but it's more of a conflict inside myself. You know, it's like, that may be my waking self looking at it, you know, screw him or let us go. But that's not the setup. The setup is we have to go get it.
Okay. Now we're going to search for symbols and separate them from images. Now, talk about Rome. That's all you need to do. Talk about, see, Rome has many images. Whatever one you're going to pick must be consistent with the dreamer. For that's the personal historical. Get that first. Always get that first. Okay, go ahead. As you consider Rome, just talk about it.
Well, foreign country, difficult to communicate with a lot of people.
Foreign country, difficult to communicate.
The setting here is important because this fellow, when I did go to Europe with him, he was fluent in French, and when we were in Rome, stayed in his house because she spoke French. I was out of the conversation in Italian and French, I don't know. And that's all I can think about. In Rome, there's a lot of old buildings. And anything else. I'm not thinking about the famous places in Rome. They don't talk about mine. I'm talking about the old, small buildings, apartments, and hotels and stuff like that. Big buildings and stuff.
No, not ancient buildings, old buildings.
Yeah, medieval. Medieval, 3, 4, 5 years old.
Now, we go back to the story. We go back to the story. And I'm going to ignore the third floor. Ignore that. Go back to it later. And now we look on it as a drama to put in place these two. So, hey.
On principle, the third floor, what part of the dream would that represent? Such that you're going to defer it until later. How would you name that part of the dream?
How would you name it?
Yeah, in the sense that you're on principle, you're going to do something else with the dream now.
That's right.
Saying that it's important to go back to the third floor.
That's right.
But the thing is, what is that third floor? In many other dreams, there might be similar things. What we call that thing, the third floor is.
Right now?
Yeah.
You don't know.
You don't know.
It's going to be either one of these.
A symbol or an image.
That's right. I don't need to know it right now.
Okay. But
I don't need to know.
How did you know you had to go back on the personal history of Rome, but not go back on the personal history of third floor?
That's the setting of the whole place. That's the setting of the whole dream. Rome.
Okay.
Okay, now, take a look now. We're going to do the same thing we always do. All right? Let this be neutral. Let this be negative. Let this be positive. I want to put A, B, C, D, E, F on my scale. A. Now you can use level of intensity. You can use any standard you want. Let's consider at this point level of intensity.
Without a positive or negative intensity, I mean whether I'm a bummer, I'm happy, or anything like that.
Then we'll put that in next.
Okay, well.
So therefore, let's talk about clarity. Clear.
I don't know about that. What do you mean?
Well, you started out the dream by saying, step A, you were very clear.
Yeah, the scene is very clear.
Right.
It's very clear, very kind of real. It's very
Details, very real.
Yeah, lots of detail. Like
Was that through the whole thing?
the whole thing takes place in that room.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'd say that the surroundings become less clear, especially up to here.
Okay. So then, look at
The first scene, I would say, is fairly low intensity of feelings. It's just a minor, it's the beginning of trying to prod this guy to get going, although I know he's not really.
So it moves.
It moves up.
A.
It's kind of low, and then it gets more intense as it goes, because it even goes up as I say, come on, that's the first one. Come on, let's go. And then I say, I'm leaving. That's pushing it up. It's kind of escalating as it goes, right? With each of those statements.
Like this?
Yeah. And as we go to, B, you got B there, and then C. Yeah, C is the second time I say it. And I'm agitated. We're not moving.
Well, then we're looking at the intensity as a negative, so
Yes,
we
it
can
is.
just put it down like this.
Yes.
Right.
There's a force that wants to go, but it's not going.
Okay, good. Clear. A is also clear, so we'll put that here.
And when you say D now, D is a different kind of feeling.
All right.
It kind of goes, first of all, the first feeling is, like, what's happening, and then it comes, oh yeah, it's an earthquake, and then that point, living in Southern California, when an earthquake starts, you kind of hold it there, like, is this mother going to go big, or are we just going to get a little light rattler here? So that's going on, and then when I notice that it's settling down, then that's when the earth is calming down, not me. At that point, I'm beginning to look around, and when I realize in Rome, I'm thinking of the architecture, and it's not one of those old. This is just a little apartment, probably called easy. So it's like that's my concern, and then when you get to that's when the earth's coming down. F.
A little higher.
Yeah, F, I don't know what you call that now.
He's still resistant.
E, I say yes, E would go back up more because it's more contemplative, what's going on, this and that, what can I do? And then F,
That's G.
F, I want to get out of there. Maybe it'll do it again. That's the impetus for going G. And in G, now there's a whole different focus in my vision.
Okay.
Because like in AM in the room,
No, it's fine.
PM in the room, but I want to know someone named Gold. C, I'm irritated, but I still have unnamed Gold. Then we're into a different scene at the earthquake. And now at G, F and G, I'm envisioning, let's get out of here. I'm seeing myself down those 3 flights of stairs and into the street. I'm thinking, how fast can I get down there and out of here?
No.
But, and also look out not get something falling.
Urgent.
Yeah, it's urgent, and it's an escape now, not just moving on. It's kind of like let's move on, like a tour or something. There is a slight image when I say let's go. It's like we're almost leaving the city. It's like that, tour.
So there's one theme that goes through the entire dream. Let's go.
Let's go. And the goal becomes more immediate.
Urgent, immediate.
Focus.
Sure. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to take a look at it just in terms of the drama for a moment, all right? You'll back away and look at it as a drama. As you look at A, see where he is, visualize it taking place. All right, Bill is talking, it appears, with someone else. And you being the second Bill, or Bill, right? You say, come on, let's go. In terms of the drama, was he right? Was Bill right?
Which, Bill what?
No, were you right?
Was I right? Come on, let's go.
Yeah, were you right?
I don't know how I can answer that with that.
In terms of the story, had you left, would you have achieved your goal?
No.
Right? You want it, it's urgent, immediate, to escape.
That's when you're in the second with that's escape is in the second part after the earthquake.
Perfectly agree with you. Had you been able to act at A and leave, would you then have bypassed all of this?
No, I would have been down about a floor or two.
Pardon me. if you could have gotten out of this building,
If I had gotten out of this building,
come on, let's go, if you could have gotten out,
right,
then,
the earthquake would have happened while I was in the street.
that's right. And that would be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah, except, my sense about the dream and how fast this happened,
Perfectly
it's
okay.
very clear to me when I started thinking of the earthquake and how to get out of there. I visualized how far down I'd have to go.
Okay.
And I don't think I would have made it. I think we would have been on the stairwell.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
That-
if he'd have left at that moment.
So that's very important. We don't have to change anything. We can say, therefore you had a goal, let's go.
Right.
All right? All right?
But it's just,
And you would have been here,
Right.
according to your dream.
right, if at that
The
moment,
sense of the dream.
yeah, if he had said, okay, let's go, we would
All right.
not have made it to the street.
Fine, fine, fine.
That's real clear to me when I think of it down here.
You have to now go back into the dream. All right? If you're in an earthquake, come on. How important was it to descend to the second floor? Now, we can only talk about that in terms of the sense of the dream. This is a premonition. Come on, let's go. Notice the timing. You're saying it didn't give us enough time because it was imminent.
But when I said, come on, let's go, there was no sense that it was going to be an earthquake.
Perfectly okay. You did have a desire to get going.
That's right.
Right. Had you acted upon it, you would have been here.
That's right.
Would that have, all we're talking about, would that have been better than here? That's all.
No.
Worse?
Possibly worse.
Then you're safer there?
Where we are,
Yeah.
for an earthquake,
Yes.
while it's going on, yeah.
Okay.
And because they go back here down to E and F, I'm thinking while I'm sitting there, is this going to be another one? And it concerns me going down those stairways while it's going to happen. It's going to happen. I want to get out.
The dream is yours. We can't put our meaning on it. It has to come out of the dreamer. We're saying there was a sense in the dream, therefore that, okay? Then even though you had a premonition, it wasn't, it didn't arrive on time.
That's right.
It came too
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, but I have a hard time accepting that's a premonition. I mean, it's just,
Well, okay.
it's my dream, so yes, it must have been a premonition. It's my earthquake.
It's your earthquake. All right.
But it wasn't in time, you're right. I mean, just, it needed 5 or 10 minutes,
All right,
in the situation, because, even if I could get him to go, it would be like, he's talking to someone, and he's going to have, that's the whole set of the dream. That's the way that, there's no way in the dream it supports a scene where he says, yeah, let's go, and he turns around and starts running out the door with me, because that's what it's going to take, and it doesn't, that wouldn't work, you're right.
Therefore?
It doesn't work, just like,
No, come on, just
you're asking me, is this true? I think that's what you said.
Well, it's your dream. As you consider your dream.
As a premonition statement does, isn't it true?
But there is something you want to do.
That's right.
It does turn out to be significant to get out of there.
Yeah.
That is a theme that runs through the whole dream.
There's a theme that runs there, you're right. That is right. We must not keep it.
And the only question we have is if it had it come earlier, it would have been far better for everyone, yourself and your friend.
That's for sure.
Well, so in that sense, you've got some kind of a, what do you want to call it? I'll back away from premonition.
Well, something's right about that statement.
Something's right about that statement.
I mean, that's for sure.
Yeah. And there's a resistance to it.
That's right. And then it's when I'm going. That's more intensity.
Mm-hmm.
There's more urgency to it.
Mm-hmm. It's a building of urgency.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. And then the earthquake makes it very graphic.
State of mind. Okay? Now we're going to state of mind. It's as if he's not paying attention. Therefore, it's not strictly speaking that he's resistant,
No, that doesn't work. In fact,
so we can take that out.
Yeah,
What name do you want to put in there now?
that's real tough. This
Huh?
is the most difficult to name. Distracted, isn't it? Into something else.
I'll put that in.
Yeah, I think that
He was
it's into
into
something else, isn't it?
something else. Do you want to say he didn't hear you? Uh-oh,
That's tough.
that's tough now.
I mean, as much as somebody may hear someone buzzing and making sounds and kind of knowing what they want, what they're interested in.
Yeah, but this is ushered, this is given in a certain degree of intensity.
That's true. The second time, it's a lot of intensity.
A lot of intensity.
At C,
Therefore,
exact same words. He heard it.
he heard it. All right. Okay? Then what's he doing?
No, there's more. I think there's even body language. It's not-
Okay, even body
Yeah,
language.
there's something there.
Right. So there's something important that you're communicating? And you see what's going on, he's not paying attention. From the body language, you would conclude what state of mind is he in? Ignorance. All right, okay. Even though, to some degree, he's dependent upon you, can't go anywhere without you. And so now you give it the second time.
It's more intense. I mean,
More intense.
more insistent. And,
More intense.
there's no doubt he heard me. And when I say I'm going, that's concerned. That concerns me because I'm not. That's a lie. I'm not going to go without him. That's what I intend. That's what I imply.
Mm-hmm.
I say, come on, let's go. And then I say, I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
They're like teenagers.
Doesn't work.
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, it isn't. It's not a real threat. He knows it.
Oh, and he knows it.
I mean, because of the situation.
Yeah.
He knows I'm not going to leave without him.
No. Okay.
That kind of guy.
All right. So it works both ways.
Yeah, right.
All right. Good. More intense now. Oh shit! An earthquake
Yeah, in Rome.
in Rome. That's the expression.
Yeah, earthquake did well as much as in Rome. That's the building.
Okay. Reflect for a moment. Okay. Reflect for a moment. Remember the images you used to describe Rome. Go back over them. Okay. Go back over them. You see them?
It's really interesting that it happens to be his images because,
Absolutely.
you know, Rome almost has a cultural value to us Americans, but it's really,
Someone else might say the three stories of the Trinity and it's the sacred city of Rome and build a whole symbol out of it.
Yeah.
But the symbol may not fit.
that's right. It's his symbol.
It's his symbol.
A bunch of rickety buildings.
That's right.
But it's a primary thing, it's old.
Yeah. Okay, back to it. As you look at what he said about Rome, go back over it, all right? Yeah.
Well, no, I was thinking, right, in a foreign country, difficult to communicate. Looks like what's going on.
What is it you see that is going on?
He's trying to communicate
Right.
to...
So the choice of Rome as a
direct.
sign, let's call it a sign so we don't have to talk about image or symbol, right? The choice of the Dream Master in picking out Rome as a sign fits two beautiful things here, doesn't it? Old building and difficult to communicate. You see, that's what he's going through as he's talking about it, and he's living it as he's going through the dream right now, right? Saying, yeah, it's right, you're putting it together nicely, but there's difficulty he has to go through to pick it up. Right, very good. Right. Now, oh shit, an earthquake.
It's a good one, too. I mean,
It's a good one.
it's a real shocker.
It's a shocker. Good.
The building, you have to hang on a little bit.
Pardon me?
You have to hang on a little bit. I mean, it's like, it's not just a little.
Have to hang on.
Yeah, you kind of, the building moved a lot to make you really wonder if it's going to hold together. Since I know a lot about architecture, I was even visualizing the wall shit.
So
Nothing's falling or crashing.
at D, we can now add to D. All right, say it again, what you just said. Say it again.
I mean,
It's a shocker.
yeah,
Got to hold on.
I mean, when you say this would be like a statement above your thinking this is going to happen, I mean, logically it was just a surprise. A surprise besides. Scary. Scary.
But see, that underlies the fact that it's an old building, isn't it? Right? What do you?
Yeah, that's important.
Right. So that plays a role. Why? Talk about it. Because that does what?
Well, it makes the danger far greater.
Yeah. See?
You know,
Danger becomes more
Given-
obvious.
given the
Danger.
kind of- yeah.
Right?
Given the kind of earthquake it is, if I were in a frame building, second floor, even third floor in California, you know, we'd stop and notice it, you know, and see this is going to be bad. You know, when it's freaky about the building, it's this one.
So,
Even my office building.
okay. Notice what we can do now. We can go back to the idea of Rome as a place of old buildings, not ancient.
No, these.
And now, what new feature is added? Dangerous old building.
Yeah.
Right? Structurally unsound now fits with the building in Rome, doesn't it? Right?
This was a lower middle class building when it was built 500 years ago. I mean, this isn't like an old palace. It's
Yeah.
apartments. This was never a great building.
But it is a structurally weak, right? Is that what you say? How would you put it?
For an earthquake, it's fine
Yeah.
for Rome, which is on a pretty heavy rock base and doesn't have earthquakes except south there. But it's like it's not a.
Until this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, good. So, we're making a statement now about the building.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about
But
it?
the building's very important to this. So
Yeah, yeah.
And there's no, the intensity is not a problem at all about this building. There's a lot of detail to the building. Visualizing the stairways, and how to get down, visualizing how this is probably just a set concrete masonry building. The rocks will shift. I mean, I see all these images.
So you notice the detail,
That's right. Lots of details about it.
right, of the building. In terms of safety too.
That's right. I'm near a wall.
Right. Good. 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 And the more you see,
More urgent.
the more urgent. Right? Good. Right? So, danger, the more you see, more urgent it becomes. And you're paying attention now to the details.
There's more details about the earthquake too, because it could be one of two kinds of earthquake. It could be the foreshock, which, if it is the foreshock, in most cases, at least the way I believe about earthquakes, doesn't have to,
Yeah.
that there won't be enough time to get out.
Okay. Now, was that sense present in the dream?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Very definitely. I'm judging it.
So you're making a judgment here
That's right.
that this
Again.
is.
Again, the time to get down. If it's a foreshock, we won't make it.
That's right.
If it's an earthquake and then there's an aftershock, the likelihood is we'll make it to be smaller. But it's a foreshock, that means the building's
If
still
after shock, enough time will be safe, we'll get out.
Right.
Right?
If there's going to be an aftershock, yeah, it'll be safe. There'll be plenty of time.
Yeah. If an aftershock, fine.
Yeah, but if this is a foreshock before the big one,
Yeah.
there won't be time.
Right.
At least the way I believe it.
Right. So the dream doesn't resolve that issue, and we can leave it there and we know it's okay. All right, good, because it doesn't need it.
But it's all those parts of those things
Uh-huh.
that include the building and the third floor. It's the first floor, right out the door.
Right. In that, you make another judgment. It would be better to be in the USA if such a
Yeah,
earthquake was going to take place.
that's right.
All right? Another judgment. Good.
Better to be in the USA on the third floor of one of those buildings.
One of those then. Right. In a USA building. Right, that's correct. Calm.
Yeah, the earth calms down, but it's a tense calm. Because you don't know.
Because you're worrying now about the
Did I
after.
get the big one, or is it just the
No,
after?
no, right.
And I'm still trying to get him out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still ignoring it.
Still ignoring, still the difficulty communicating, even as the tension builds and the crisis becomes more and more acute, he's still resistant. Or what word we want to put on him.
Ignoring. He's still ignoring me.
Still ignoring.
Well, in this case, he's not ignoring me, he's ignoring the situation.
Ah, now look here. It moves from ignoring me to ignoring the danger, the situation.
From words to events.
Pardon me?
Also noticing that he ignores not only the words, but he ignores events.
Yeah, the event, the situation, the event. Quite true.
There's a sense of that up in A
That's-
and B.
That's a shift, isn't it?
There's a sense of that in A and B because he's ignoring the situation as well. I mean, I'm the means for him to get around. That's more personal because it's more like Gary said, it's more obvious dangers.
And that's when you said he does it again. He's still resistant in the face of all of
In the
that.
words of the dream, it says, Bill isn't coming yet. That's what I said on the table.
Good. Now, dream-wise, how important do you see it is to go back over it, to talk about it? Essential. Now we're building something, aren't we? We're building ignoring me, ignoring a dangerous situation. The dangerous situation may escalate into even a greater danger. And in spite of that, he's still resisting, or whatever we want to call that, reluctant to follow whatever it is.
Interesting dynamic this character built. Because he's, at the beginning of the dream, it's kind of a normal, ignoring relationship, you know what I mean? There's, like, going someplace and he wants to go one way or not go another, something like that. It's not very intense. But as it goes on, as I become more intense on him leaving, as the earthquake happens and everything else, then his ignoring have greater consequences.
Yes.
Far, and they're built.
Does the dream therefore resolve that problem? No. And wait a minute, we still don't know whether he's going to turn around. We still don't know whether there's going to be an aftershock. We don't, but there are plenty of signs of greater danger.
So I'm going to abandon.
That's right. Still don't know whether you're going to abandon him and seek your own safety.
So you don't know.
Louder?
You don't know. What's the state of mind that you are in at the end?
Well, when you're looking, see, recovery, you see, you start wondering how fast I can get out of here, you know? Maybe I can get out before it happens. He's still resistant. But he isn't coming yet. What's that do to you?
I'm still caught between those two things. Him trying to get him to come along, or just leave and go myself and do it and leave. But I can't. There's some kind of a connection between he and I. He and me, it just doesn't.
That connection between you two is producing a danger for both of you.
That's right.
Huh?
Plus, that neither of us will survive.
Right.
If so.
Yes.
And that seems to give including something.
So your mind is, look at, see now if we can step away and talk about it in general for a moment. This is where you begin to have different kind of reflection. If your dream master is giving you this dream, then you're facing something very significant.
Facing?
Facing,
Yes.
right now,
Yes.
something significant. And you have to make a judgment. What's the judgment? As you just expressed. You have a decision.
I have to abandon something. I mean, that's one judgment I may have to make. We're out to break this relationship. Because this guy's a change. If anything, he's become more resistant.
Ah, that's even better. Not still. See, we can add to that now,
Well,
can't we?
I think it's like,
More.
it's not coming yet, which means like, even though you've had this bloody earthquake, and I'm obviously freaking out, he's not coming. This guy he's not changed. He's still doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's something big in this, with someone.
So you're seeing two things. You're seeing him becoming more resistant, and you're seeing the danger much more clearly, and you therefore can see the tension it puts you in. You have to make a decision, and the dream stops. Maybe I can get out. Notice what you said before. Maybe I can get out before it occurs. Could you read that line, please, in the dream?
I don't know what that exact line is here. It says, oh yeah, no, I'm thinking maybe it'll do it again. I want to get out of there.
Oh, maybe it will do it again.
Yes.
Maybe it will do it again. Go ahead.
And then I say, I want to get out of there.
Thank you. I want to get out of there.
Thank you.
That's decisive.
But when we were talking about it, I was thinking all these things in the dream, doing
No.
this technology to try and see if it's possible for me to get out before it does it again, get out to the street.
Could you read it once more, please?
All the whole dream?
That part.
I'll start with, oh shit, an earthquake in Rome. And I was thinking about how the buildings in the United States might be better. These are these old buildings. And it sort of calms down. And I look at it. And I'm thinking maybe it'll do it again, I want to get out of it. Bill isn't coming yet.
What? Last part?
Bill isn't coming yet.
That's right.
We've got that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to stay on this phrase. I want to get out before it happens again. Bill isn't coming yet, with the implication and the sense in the dream that he's even more resistant than before. Right? So what do you see in that statement? I want to get out before it happens again. Not we.
Well, I don't say, but you're putting two pieces together. I'm thinking maybe it'll do it again. I want to get out of there.
Thank you. Say it again.
So-
I want to
Get out of there.
Is
That's
that
right.
That's I.
That's right. It's I.
It isn't
Well,
we.
in the first
No.
one, let us get out of here. And
That's
then
right.
it changes to I want to get out of here.
That's
By
right.
the way, is this the time when you're thinking, if it's a foreshock, you're dead meat anyhow, but if it's just the original earthquake, you might have a chance, like it's iffy whether, remember that earlier you said that...
That's around D.
D,
Yeah, D, C, and D and E, where I'm thinking even though it's calmed down, I'm wondering whether this is a foreshock or this is the actual earthquake. If it's a foreshock, I won't make it.
so then the next statement is I want to get out of here. And you're even not even too sure you're going to make it anyhow in the dream.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's up in the air.
That's true, but I don't know, I think I am making a decision that the best thing to do is to leave, not sit there and let the thing float around the third floor. The best thing is to leave, whether or not it's a foreshock.
Would you agree it's getting close to a personal decision?
Yes,
Right.
very close.
Like,
But boy, it's not a lot. I mean, there's still a lot of connection.
That's right.
between that guy and
That's
us.
right. So,
I mean, it's,
That-
you say close, it's like closer, but not
closer. It isn't equivalent to I will leave now before it happens
That's right,
again.
no, it isn't anything like that at all.
And it's not,
The language-
we must get out of here before it happens.
No. And
It's
it isn't,
something-
I want to get him and I out of here.
No.
It's not, so the language goes towards the person.
That's right.
But the
That's
state of mind is still this great deal of, concern.
So
It
you
isn't,
don't,
when I say,
Yeah.
like, it goes back up to I'm going. See it up there? That's really fake. That's really fake. That's a threat that doesn't have anything going on at all.
Yeah.
Even though I say it the second time, see, I'm going, you know, it doesn't work. But when you see down there, I want to get out of here, you know, that's getting close.
That's getting close to this.
Close to that, making that true.
Yeah.
It is getting close, but it's still...
It's still the tide.
It looks like we're going to need a few more shakes and things to make that really come true. I mean, the dream stopped long before that would be resolved.
Yeah.
I mean, that isn't just about resolve.
Right.
I'm not just about ready to turn and leave now with him. It's not there. That's not there. It's just an inkling.
Okay, let me ask you again. Look here, in terms of the dream. Is the symbol, is Rome losing its significance and the old building gaining? Therefore, what are we going to do? We're going to say, sir, would you please take a minute out and see if you can, to the best of which you're able, to talk about the building as a building.
As a building?
Yeah, what's it like? Just talk about the building. Dingy. Come on, more.
Minimal repair over its many long years. All the windows and doors are intact.
Doors and windows are...
It's intact. It's not a wreck building, but it's, you can close the windows and that sort of thing, but it's...
More?
It's one of those buildings in Europe, where it kind of settled into the ground. It's, it's crooked here and there, and, that kind of a thing. It wasn't made really well with the foundations originally, like some of the things in Europe. So it's like a stone building. Some of the masonry is falling out between the cracks of the stones. It's not the stones were not cut square and sharp like they are in expensive buildings. They're round and masonry makes up the difference.
The stones don't fit?
Yeah, so they use lots of mortar to fill up the different spaces.
No, stones don't fit. They use a lot of...
It's a cheap building to begin with.
Cheap building.
The reason it stands there is so bloody heavy, it just kind of sits on it. And that's that kind of... The architecture is that they just pile up those stones and they're so heavy, that's what they won't chip. That's what we look at. That's what it is. I don't visualize the floors.
That's all right.
That's the way it is. And when you look out into the street, the whole neighborhood's like that. It's like an old stone street, dirty. Probably was that way 50 years after this building. Sort of lower middle class, even lower people. A lot of transient type people building like that. That's kind of what I see.
All of those things together.
Could be interesting.
All of those things together, that's the building.
Yeah. It could be like one or two people who are tenants who are quite interested in something. Educated but not living.
Pardon?
Educated but not living what you would call the economic advantage life. Living in a room with lots of different things around, lots of things for hundreds of years.
Okay, now, do you see what we're getting about the building? Do you see all the terms we've been able to identify? It's so heavy it just sits there. It's a cheap building. It's an old building. It's now dirty and dingy. Stones are just piled up like it won't budge. Doors and windows are intact. It's an old stone building. The masonry is coming apart. Stones don't fit precisely. Transient people live there. And now we go back to the third floor. Because now we can talk about it within this, right? What it would mean to be on the third floor of that. Is that the top floor of the building?
Not clear.
Not clear, that's all we need, okay? Third. Yeah. As you reflect on it, what would it mean to be on the third floor of such a building?
Well, it's a long way to get to the street. If you're on the second floor, you got one flight of stairs and not a door. On the third floor, you got to go down a flight of stairs, and conceivably, the second flight of stairs from the second to the first floor may not be a continuous run. It may not just be a stairwell.
May have to go.
You may have to do something.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not clear.
It's a long way and not direct.
That's right. And stairways, when you're looking at a building like that, it seems like the stairways would fall with everything else.
And the stairs may in fact be faulty. What are we getting at?
There's some blocks to get into the street. There's some pediments.
There, right into the...
It's just not unknowing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Would this be an image or a symbol?
No, we don't. We're not going there.
Oh,
So, see, what did we get for the third? We got that it's a long way to get to the street, right? It's not direct. The whole construction is faulty. You wouldn't get that on the second, would you? You wouldn't get that on the second. Therefore, if these ideas are important, he has to be on the third floor. Therefore, these ideas now are playing a more significant role. That's what it means to be on the third floor. Shall we do it? So, this building, therefore, can capture this idea that, you know what, you have to make a decision, and you know what, it's a long way structurally where you're at. It's a long way to get to the street from where it's not direct, faulty stairs, and you're going to be going down there and it might be another shocker.
So like going to the second floor is almost like where you go to the first floor is like having another task you have to do or something like that.
It might be the greater half to have gone from the third to the second.
Maybe more work, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so there's something that has to be done that I don't know about.
Right.
It could be underestimated.
That's right.
To get to the street.
That's right. Well, remember the point we were making with great care before? Right? If he had responded, if he had acted earlier, where would it have landed him? On the second floor.
Where there may be a lot of work to do.
Well, or you may have already accomplished a great deal of work getting on the second floor.
Well, just to get to the second.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Is that there,
Yeah.
it's not known.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we can go back and
That's emphasized. It's like, it's not clear. I can kind of see the stairway, but I don't know what you have to go through to go,
That's right.
to the top of it.
That's right.
Yeah, the stairways were intrinsically dangerous, so
That's right.
it's not clear that he
Yeah.
could have made it to the second floor,
That's right.
according to the dream.
Yeah. But it does create the possibility that he would be better off on the second. That's clear from
Like I said,
this.
it certainly would have
Yeah.
been better off had he been on the second floor when
That's right.
the earthquake hit.
That's right.
It wasn't.
So therefore,
Wait,
what's being
wait.
stressed is this is where he is at.
You're saying that it implies it could be better to be on the second floor. Yeah, there's that possibility.
In terms of what you're saying.
Well, if I got to the second floor, surely, yes,
Yeah.
that would be a major accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
Although that's twisted with the idea of whether or not it's, inside of how tall that building is, the main thing is to get out.
That's right.
The problem is to get out. The problem getting out has to mean go through the second floor
Yeah.
somehow to get to the first floor.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, definitely. When you take the goal into consideration.
Yeah.
There's no sense in the dream if I want to stay here and watch it. Just building sway.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good.
Whether or not it's a foreshock or a
Yeah.
heat shock. The goal is to get out.
Okay. Now we're going back. Now we make another reflection. Now we're going to substitute in the dream the material that we've collected. Keep all the material you have, and all you do is read the dream once more. Look at the dream once more, only you substitute everything you developed back into the dream. Try it this way, all right? You are in Rome. Difficult to communicate with. That's Rome. What's Rome? Foreign. Difficult to communicate. That's Rome. Okay. You're in a
shaky old structure.
yeah.
Not shaky.
Not shaky.
Not shaky,
Strong.
Old structure.
Yeah.
This sits there.
No, it just sits there. So you have to use his language.
Okay.
Building doesn't burn.
Right.
Dingy and cheap and dirty.
Right. So the dream is saying, look here, you're here in, what's Rome mean? And on the third floor means what? A long way to go where you want to go, right? May not be direct, right? Maybe run some risks.
I may have the wrong assumptions of it.
Yeah, man, wrong assumptions. That's the third floor. All right? Yeah.
Would doing for more specific states of mind at this stage be appropriate? But what is that third floor? I mean, how does it feel? How does it feel to be on the third floor? Is there a state of mind?
He gave it to us earlier. You may want to have him look at it once again.
In terms of intensity, he gave,
Yeah.
but he didn't give us what it was.
Okay. The question is not whether you're right or wrong. The question at this point is, would you mind reflecting and saying once more the state of mind you were in the scene A?
Anxious to get out of there, kind of low key.
Kind of anxious, low key.
Leaving the city, let's move on, come on.
Let's move on. Leave the city.
And I just haven't got the window to see the street below, there wasn't any, there was no intensity about being on third floor. Although there's already that part about how to get down.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be presented.
Okay. What do you notice then? What can you use? What can you use?
That there's already a desire, even before urgency, to get down. Over that much.
No, he added something. He added something significant. Come on, let's go leave Rome.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned that before, but it wasn't very clear, but we're leaving, we're going to some other city.
Go to some other city. See, that's very important.
Sure is. It's leaving the whole milieu. Isn't it?
Right, believing this whole difficulty in communicating, right? Leaving this. It's when he's leaving this that he finds he has a difficulty in leaving, and that's this feature about Rome transported over into the image of his friend Bill. All right, now, you want to leave this place, right? You want to leave this.
The whole area.
The whole area. And, come on, let's go. I'm going. You feel that's a lie because there's a bond, some kind of a bond,
That's right.
isn't there? Right?
It's
And so what we're seeing is something about this bond in the dream.
That's right. This bond is crucial.
Right?
Because I know I can go. He needs me to go, to leave.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were not to have that bond, it's a simple matter to get out and
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
So what if the earthquake hit on the second floor? I still already have part of it done.
Right. So, all right. Do you see now we're taking the dream, we're taking the theme that runs through it, we're seeing how significant it is to talk about the bind, or the bond between them. What's that like, seeing that bond?
It seems unbreakable. I mean, it's not, it's really strong. Because it just takes me to the real scene in my past when some music works.
It what?
I think about the actual trip I had with this guy, which I think fits. That's why the Dream Master did it.
See, now what's emerging is the relationship between the two bills. It represents now something of greater significance, because now we can talk about that. Right? There's a kind of relationship, right? Some kind of a relationship or obligation.
That's right.
And what's that like? It doesn't have to be to a person, can be to a thing, can be to a variety of things.
I was just reflecting in general terms on the same relationship. The obligation is that there are positive parts of this obligation. Yet there's a limit on me because of it. Like I can't. The obligation has a term. In other words, there's a period of time in which that obligation is going to go on. It's not going to be the rest of my life. At least, and for the moment it's there and it's binding. And it's binding because of my honor, not because you guys are going to shoot me if I leave. Somebody else is going to call me a shoot. It's because of my own personal, I took on the obligation to do it. My responsibility. I mean, that's what that whole image gives me from this. The guy's dependent on me in some way, but not entirely, not in the sense of a person.
That's right.
It was in the real life, God was a disabled person in a certain way. And could have made it.
Could have made it.
But it wasn't the agreement that I made, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I'm wrapped into it somehow.
Wrapped into it.
It's not a negative. It's not like I'm a slave. It's an agreement. It's really hard to talk about it in a sense because in the dream, as we've seen, to the end of the dream, there's never a resolution of that bond. There's not even a serious challenge of it.
But you are moving in a certain direction.
There's no doubt about it. Either that guy's going to start moving or this bond will be broken.
Yeah. Right.
There is that strength, and look at all that work I did at D, E, F, all the intellect about building, considering the risks and so forth. There's a lot of movement going toward that. If this guy doesn't respond soon, the bond will be going. That's right. That's it. That's it.
Now, what's interesting is that in this dream, the Dream Master is pointing out that it can get worse.
Yeah.
May not, but it can potentially get worse.
Well, beside the thing whether or not it gets worse, it's pointing out the bond.
It's pointing out, focusing on the bond.
That's the focus right there, because even with an immediate goal, get out in the street and all the place over, you usually don't reoccur that intensity. That's all over, but there's still going to be that bond for another time.
Would you agree that everybody finds themselves in such situations? With things, obligations, all over the place. Therefore, right, your dream master is presenting you with something, and it looks like you've come to a realization in your dream.
That's just barely hinted at.
That's right. That's right. And it's barely hinted at here. I want to get out. Right? Same hint. It's emerging.
Yeah, the I is becoming stronger. From what
Eyes are becoming stronger.
The I going is a threat totally within the relationship, like two teenagers wrapped up in each other, never meet each other, and play this game out. But as it comes to I want to get out toward the end there, that's more of a mature intention about getting close to whether or not this guy goes.
Now, you now have the major image, don't you? You have the major image for the dream. That is the relationship between the two bills. Now you go back and you ask one big question. Where would you say you experienced that most intensely? Right at D.
The relationship bond?
Yeah. And the possibility that either he moves or the obligation is over. What do you see? G, E, F, G?
The bond is weakest at the end.
Weakest at the end. All right? Right.
I mean, when I say
yeah.
Bill isn't coming yet, it's almost like I'm observing this guy more objectively. One is, it's like, emotionally bonded people come and say, he's not coming, and for some reason he's ignoring me. And the last is coming close to him being foolish.
That's right. And you're seeing that it's getting closer.
Yes.
He is being...
There is that dynamic.
That's right.
Between it. It wouldn't
That's
be
right.
apparent unless,
That's right.
I think it's the yet. It's like this.
Now, the Dream Master chose a scene, how long ago were you in Rome?
25 years.
In Rome, what year?
70.
1970?
With this guy.
Okay, so your Dream Master went back, pulled out this scene, right? And it represents this?
Yeah.
And you're, like everyone, you're involved in all kinds of obligations, but what's your Dream Master saying?
It's obligations.
So whatever it is, there's a certain one or number where...
There's a bond to something that if it doesn't change, it's got to be broken. Has to be broken. Not either he moves, the obligation's over. It's like, if he doesn't move, I will have to take the initiative to break this bond.
Yes.
That would be a better way to say it.
That's nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Then you would be taking the initiative.
Right.
So, you see, this is a possible way of understanding this dream. Therefore, if he can watch the succeeding dreams and watch for this state of mind, then we can see what form it takes. Right now, it's personal. We're seeing, though, it has a universal significance. That is to say, we're all involved with bills. But it's so far, it's functioning on the level of personal, isn't it? Right? Now,
old structures that can't take much of a shock from reality.
or the structure may take it, old, all the stones fit, but there may be damage.
The person inside the structure.
Right,
may-
so that's right. Right, the stairwell may collapse. Right. So it's not saying that the entire structure is at fault,
is at risk.
but certain parts and his personal safety is at risk to various degrees. So look here.
There's a universal.
Yeah. Now we've speculated. All right. We could have first agreed, we could have said, by heavens, there's Rome, the holy city of Rome, and third, he's on the Father, Son, Holy Ghost, the Trinitarian concept. We could have allowed to impose all kinds of symbolic significance to it. But we're saying, look here, there is something that the dream master is focusing on, and it's equally likely that since this is a very significant thing in your life, that it's going to continue. As this theme moves away from a personal and historical reference, then you'll get the more general symbol. It will merge. It will develop. You can watch it develop. And therefore, and again, it depends upon, as obviously it will in your own personal life, to the degree that you are refreshed by this experience of looking at this dream and seeing what it's offering you, you're going to be more attentive to your daily life to see where this is going on. And therefore the play of both together is going to lift it out of the personal, and we're going to find more transcending symbols. That's the way the dream works. All right? Good? Good? Now, part we left out, which was real nice, which I find quite interesting. So, as you recall it, let's see if we can get it and look at it now fresh. The way you expressed it originally, and then when you reflected on it, it went through an interesting change. Calm down, E. Let's look at it again.
It says here it sort of calms down.
Yeah, that's the way it's said. Right. Sort of calms down. Means what? Literally.
You're
Sort of.
sort of means it's not sure it's calm down. It's kind of apparent. It's apparent. It's
It
not,
may.
could be fooled.
That's right.
It's part of the reflection.
Yeah.
Sort of calms.
The sort of calm down means it's still doing what?
Probably a little bit, or
See, there's still something going on. So it isn't a plateau
No.
or settled. It isn't a settled condition. It could be a plateau on another level.
Could be going up.
Could be going up. Yeah. Yeah. So therefore, what looked like a possibility of a calmness suggesting less danger now is foreboding.
That's right. That's right.
Right? And therefore,
It sort of calms down, and I look at it, and I'm thinking maybe you'll do it again.
see, and I look at it, and maybe it will do it again. See, in this dream, there's not only a focus of attention on the building and the stair, pardon me, and the streets, remember the way you described the streets? But there's also a focus on the state. So, hey, I'm looking at it, maybe it will do it again. You're looking at it. Talk about that.
Very aware state.
Go ahead.
Weird. Not weird, but weird. It's here now. It's looking. It's not thinking out about it. It's finding out. It doesn't last long. Because then it starts to go into thoughts about the building and the possibility of stairways and getting out of it. But right then, it's just looking, thinking about what is it? A kind of an apprehension is there.
So you're focused. All right? You're looking. All right? You're aware. You're trying to make a certain kind of
judgment about it. You know, judgment for action.
yeah.
Now, at this point, I'm just watching the movement, or watching, feeling, perceiving, you know, what's going on. And can't make a judgment until it calms down. There's a point of calm down to where I can start to think about action. If it doesn't calm down, it starts shaking and keeps getting worse, then it has to become even more immediate. Dodge something, jump, you know, it's not, but as the calm down comes, then the future action starts coming in. Well, how can I do it? What's happening? What are the chances? That sort of thing.
So this becomes the major moment.
That's right.
And a lot depends upon that judgment and what you're looking at and trying to understand it. What is it? Apprehension, right? Here and now, right now. Awareness of it. You have to make a judgment.
That's right.
It's a judgment for action.
This is why it's interesting to look at the other Bill, because he's not doing any of this apparently at all.
Right. He is unaware. Where is he?
He's not here and now. He's over talking to somebody, as far as I know. It's not clear. But he's not unaware. He's not paying attention to what's going on right now.
And therefore he can't.
Oh no, he's...
See, they're opposites.
They're
opposites. Awareness and unawareness. Awareness and unawareness being contrasted.
It's almost a purposeful being unaware. He's ignoring me, which is an action. And it's almost trying not to look at it. Finding ways not to look at it.
See, that's not just passive, is it?
No.
See, that's not just passive. By focusing on this calm state, we can see this opposition between the two of them. And does it not begin to look like there's a certain negativity?
Yeah, what word would you give it?
Negativity.
Well, it isn't that he is simply passive and unaware, as if...
He's not playing, he's not a dork or, you know, an unaware person. Just,
no.
No, he's actually attempting to not deal with me in the same way, not deal with you.
Yeah, both. So it's not dealing with you or the issue. And trying ways not to look at all.
What's the name for that? Someone who tries.
Oh, I'll get one. Watch.
I know.
See, put a name on that and we're ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was...
Well, there's lots of things, waiting and ignoring and so forth.
If someone were to do that on board a ship, what would you say to them? They were sailing a ship and they were doing that. And they're on watch, what would you tell them?
I mean, what kind of ship I'm on, I'm surely leaving the duty in some cases put on the brig because we can cause trouble.
That's right. Sure. This is, what does that, how does
What's the
that,
name for that?
how does that highlight?
I just think it'd be helpful if you have a word for that.
Well, we can
How does it highlight? When you say how does it highlight?
Well, we'll get there.
It's not like, you know, like on a ship, you'd say that was a guy who's close to the Union. He's not doing that kind of action.
But,
Yeah, he's an impediment. He's a heavy impediment. He's trying to get, he's a pain in the ass, really. He's kind of,
but he's a pain for what reason?
because
What would you say if someone is trying ways not to look at you or the situation?
And put you in danger yourself.
Thank you. And put you in danger as well as himself.
the ship is one of the bonds.
Okay? Name, please.
Has to be his, or you throwing it open for everybody?
No.
Has to be his.
Well, you know, the shipboard analogy is kind of like an engineer.
If it were an operating room and this was one of the doctors,
That's sabotage.
if this was a card game, okay, just put it anywhere. Mechanics. You're supposed to be working together with a team.
That's, all those look like sabotage. They all look like you sabotage. But on a very dull kind of level, this guy is not the most dangerous, actually, because an active saboteur can catch him. At least you have some interaction, you can parry this. But this guy's very subtle, so it's very difficult to. It's very difficult to. He's stubborn. He's really stubborn too.
Yes, he can be stubborn about it, but given this situation, what name do you want to put on it?
A lot of nasty words, but I don't really quite capture it.
Well, I don't know. I'll take a couple.
Well, I mean, I know, you know, you call them son of a bitch and all those, but they're not going to work.
Those aren't names, right?
That's what I mean.
Right,
Those are
right.
just expletives. It's like, it's a saboteur.
Saboteur.
That's all I can get out of it.
What does that now do for the relationship? One of the people in the relationship then is what?
Saboteur.
That's what we get.
He's taking advantage of this bond and doing this.
He's taking
Because they
advantage
would
of
have
the
no-
bond.
they
That's
would have
right.
no power at all. I said, well,
That's right.
You stay here, I'm going to leave.
That's right.
Get the train
That's
down
right.
to the train station.
That's right. Pardon me?
I was saying, he said that this character knew he wouldn't, when he said, I'm going, and it was an idle threat, so to speak. He said the other person knew.
Okay. How did we get this? We went to the calm down. We went to the state of mind, as we always do. Right? That will then allow us to make a contrast. The contrast was made between aware and unaware, right? Because he has to make a judgment at that time. It's a judgment for action. He now has to look at this person who's engaged with him. And now we have a new way of describing him. We set up analogies to try to see what that person would be like in another situation. When we found other situations, we found another name for it, which was quite handy, a saboteur.
But he's still
Notice-
confident that's the perfect word for it.
Yeah, no, see, difficulty to communicate. This whole thing, there's a difficulty in putting names. All right, part of the dream. So it's very significant that for you, let us assume for the moment, but you have to be careful. We're just doing this for tonight. Let's assume we're right about the dream. If so, then the dream master gave him a bond to explore where the person or thing has an appearance, and that appearance keeps you from judging the bond.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you know, Kenny's right over here. The saboteur doesn't quite capture it. It's a problem because it's important to understand the bond. Then you can easily label this stuff.
No. And the saboteur usually is in respect to some other kinds of
Yeah, there's.
systems.
Yeah, it's more like an assassin. That's not even right. It's not. He doesn't have that. His intent is not there. His intent's to be a pain in the butt. I mean, he's not.
But in this scene,
it
is it?
becomes dangerous in this.
That's right. It's not just a pain in the butt, as you call it.
Yeah,
All right. This is
dangerous.
immense danger to both of you.
That's right. Well, toward the end.
Yeah. All right. So we went to the calm state, did that,
Yeah.
then go back for a state of mind, see what's functioning in it, then we can make our contrast, and now we can go back and say, quite significant what the dream master is doing. You have to work through this, assuming we're right, you have to go through this kind of reflection over and over again like this, staying with it to make that connection. Therefore, the very process of analysis, you grow up. You have to face your words. And therefore, dream analysis is producing a growth. Why? Because you're forcing yourself to make judgments about this, right? Dealing with the implications of it, trying to find names for it, talking about whether or not we still don't have the right name, but we know we're closer.
We know there's something very powerful going on.
Yeah.
There's a bond
Yeah.
going on. It's impeding my progress.
Mm-hmm.
And a quick reflection of my daily life.
Yeah.
Surrounding is good, yeah.
Mhm.
That is a problem.
Good.
It's a problem getting moving and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
And it's not something simple.
No. No.
It's not, because if it were something simple,
Mm-hmm.
well, I would have a dream probably, but, if we looked in terms of a dream, there wouldn't be a problem. I would just turn around and leave. Where you want to go? What?
What?
Happened because of the bond.
That's right. And once you get that right name, that'll be easy to see. We don't have to worry.
So the symbols are the final thing we can
It's
get
going to
from
emerge. It's going to emerge. Right? And what are we doing? We're searching for the meaning, the logos. That's what we're doing. Searching for the meaning, the logos.
You have a relationship there that doesn't have a name yet.
That's right. But we're getting close. We're putting a lot of things together. That's right. Right.
That's come up before. What's the significance of the difficulty we have putting names on these? Because it seems like the crowd would always blow out the right name for it.
There is no freedom from your own personal ignorance until you put the name. And it's got to fit. It's got to fit. It can't have any ambiguity about it. Then you're free. Because you're facing something. You put a name on it, then you're putting some interesting symbol on it.
If we were midwifing a dream like this and we were to find a relationship like this and that name was very vague, but there were states of mind, clear states of mind attached to it, would it be helpful then to go to the past to see if there's a history of that state of mind?
No, I wouldn't. No, because it looks like this is a dream that's going to be in a series. And you can go along with it. Right? He's a very attentive gentleman, right? He's going to be looking at it. He's going to look at his life. He's going to see where these states of mind come up. Therefore, watch the dreams. They're going to make it clearer. Yeah. Thank you. Questions?
Searching for the logos, like we're searching for the logos for each of the images that are presented in the dream. His words, right? Would that be a process of searching for the logos as well as ending up with
No.
a
Answer.
conclusion?
Yeah.
I was seeing that
Answer.
yes.
Yeah, good. I have.
But I was seeing that that the images in the dream, initially, if you were to just take it from the first description, without having looked for his personal meanings behind each of those symbols, would not have at all brought out any of the content emerged since then. Since it's almost like it's hidden.
A dream is a fragment. And you have to create the universe of which it's a part. And that's why we talk about it, right? Carl Jung sometimes calls that amplification. Get the person to amplify, talk about it. Right? Because you never want to make an analysis before as far as you can see, you've exhausted it all. Talk about it, states of mind, everything you can. Last thing of all, meaning. You don't want to force meaning on anyone, especially upon yourself.
And then that's another level for searching for logos, as well as the...
That may be another level, but that's the way I'm using it today. Yeah. Good, 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 good. Any questions? Any more? Good. Then I'll have a cup of tea. I'll invite you for a cup of tea as well.
Thank you.
My pleasure.